Every morning, you have two choices: to repair your mind or to let it slowly collapse. Life doesn't knock you down with one big punch. It wears you out through 1,000 tiny cuts, one small wound, every single day. Each night, life drains you a little more. Stress leaves its mark. Worry carves cracks. Fear breaks pieces off. Disappointment chips away at your strength. We like to believe that sleep fixes everything. It doesn't. Sleep only hides the wounds in the dark. Healing begins when the sun rises. Marcus Aurelius once said, "When you wake up in the morning, remind yourself, you have been given another chance to live." But most of us don't. We wake up, grab the phone, drag yesterday's cracks into today, and wonder why we feel so tired, so empty, so heavy. The human mind is not a machine. It's a house. And every single day, storms pass through it. A bit of fear, a bit of anger, a few careless words that hurt more than we'd like to admit. If you don't fix the roof, the rain seeps in. If you don't sweep the floor, the dust piles up. If you don't strengthen the foundation, the whole house falls apart. Your mind is no different. It doesn't collapse in a day. It collapses because you left it unattended for too long. The ancient Stoics understood this. They didn't begin their day in chaos. They began with a ritual of repair. They didn't beg life to be easier. They trained themselves to become stronger. Marcus Aurelius didn't write to inspire the world. He wrote to rebuild himself before walking into battle. Seneca didn't preach philosophy for applause. He checked the cracks in his own soul to ensure they wouldn't break. And Epictetus, once a slave, learned to master what he could control, like a craftsman choosing the right tool for the right job. Today, I'll show you how to do the same. Not through complicated theories, not through hour-long morning routines, but through 8 simple repairs, each one targeting a different kind of damage. And together, they'll make your mind strong enough to handle anything the day brings. So before we begin, set your intention. This morning, I repair my mind. Lesson 1. Let go of the past. Stop carrying yesterday's trash into today. Imagine a spotless kitchen, everything clean, polished, calm. Now picture this. You open yesterday's trash can, reach inside, pull out a rotten bag, and place it right on your breakfast table. Absurd, right? And yet that's exactly what most of us do with our minds. We dig through the emotional garbage of yesterday. We replay the same words that stung, the same looks that cut deep, the same missed chances that still burn a little inside. Why? Because of the Zeigarnik effect, the mind's obsession with unfinished loops. It hates loose ends. It keeps the window open even when the storm is over. But the way to heal is not to ignore. It's not to carry the weight until your back gives out. The way to heal is to name it and close the loop. 30 seconds, that's all you need. Ask yourself, what am I still carrying? Be honest, no filters. This conversation made me feel small. That message made me doubt myself. That mistake still embarrasses me. Seneca once said, "True happiness is to enjoy the present, without anxious dependence upon the future." But tell me, how can you enjoy the present if you keep dragging yesterday's ashes into today's sunrise? Each morning, ask, what am I still carrying that I no longer need? Name it. Look at it. Then whisper, it's done. I'm not carrying it anymore. It sounds foolishly simple, almost too easy. But strangely enough, it works. Because when you let go with intention, your brain understands the message. This no longer has permission to live here. That tiny phrase, it's like flipping a switch. The current stops. The loop ends. You haven't fixed your whole life in 30 seconds, but you've closed the trash can. And, for this morning, that's enough. Lesson 2. Know your foundation. Understand how much you can carry today. Most people wake up and walk into the day like construction workers entering a job site, loading their shoulders with a mountain of tasks, without ever asking one simple question: can I actually carry all this today? Some days, your mind is made of stone, solid, sharp, unshakable. Other days, it's sand shifting, soft, ready to crumble at the slightest pressure. But here's the truth: most of us never check the ground we're building on. We push ourselves to be as productive as always, even after 3 hours of sleep, even when our hearts feel empty. Then, by noon, it all collapses. We call it stress. But in reality, it's just bad architecture. We built on weak soil. Some days, you're operating at 100%. Other days, you're barely at 62. The danger isn't being at 62. It's pretending you're still at 100. A wise builder never pours concrete on wet ground. He waits for it to dry, or he lightens the load. Epictetus said, "Before you act, know who you are and where you stand." You can't steer a ship through a storm, as if you were floating in calm waters. The Stoics practiced something I call honesty with your energy. Every morning, they'd ask themselves, am I the strong version of me today, or the version that needs maintenance? If they were strong, they pushed. If they were fragile, they protected their base. Because sometimes protecting is progress. So, before you open your inbox, before you scroll through your to-do list, before you sip that first coffee, ask yourself honestly, how much can I realistically carry today? Don't answer to impress your ego. Answer to save your foundation. If the truth is one big task and 2 small ones, accept that. Do them well. Then stop. End the addiction to looking busy. Because doing less with precision will earn you more self-respect than doing everything halfway and ending the day hating yourself. Learn to pause before you break. Stop glorifying collapse as a badge of strength. You are not weak for resting. You are wise for preserving the structure that keeps you standing. Because tomorrow, you'll need that same foundation to rise again. Lesson 3. Fix early, live light. Don't let small cracks become breaks. A 5-minute task you avoid for 3 days turns into 50 minutes of mental chaos. The crack itself isn't dangerous. The danger is the water. Water is distraction. Water is leaking energy. Water is emotion seeping into places it doesn't belong. It's not the big blows that break you. It's the hundreds of small ones you keep ignoring. Marcus Aurelius said, "Confine yourself to the present. Stay in the present, because only here, in this moment, do you have the power to repair." Every morning, find one small thing that's been quietly burning at the back of your mind, and handle it today. Not someday, not when you have time. Now, don't let what's easy become what's painful. One honest email sent at the right time can save you a month of stress. One direct conversation can save an entire relationship. The wise don't wait for the house to catch fire before they look for water. They put out the spark the moment they smell smoke. So this morning, choose one thing that takes less than 10 minutes. Make the call you've been avoiding. Pay the bill you've delayed. Send the message that closes a loop. Patch the crack before it becomes a canyon. You don't need to rebuild the entire wall every day. You just need to make sure the water doesn't get in. Lesson 4. Detox your life. Cut what's rotting your mind. There's something you already know is destroying you. You felt it for a while. You just keep pretending it's harmless. Some things you must face not because you're brave, but because you're wise. Toxins in the mind aren't always obvious. They're the things that quietly drain your battery every time you touch them. That one social media account you just check, then end up feeling smaller. That group chat that leaves you more anxious than connected. That polite meeting that always ends with your spirit shrinking a little more. You know it's poison, but you keep it. Why? Because it's familiar. Because you've learned to live with the pain. But poison doesn't ask you to endure. Poison asks you to unplug. Seneca, one of the wealthiest men in Rome, voluntarily gave up his luxuries. Not because he hated wealth, but because he feared being owned by it. He said, "Anything you can't let go of owns you." Swallowing poison and hoping it disappears, that's not optimism. That's denial. There's only one cure: get it out. And if you can't remove it all at once, make it harder to reach. Design friction. Hide the app 3 folders deep. Add a time lock. Change your seat. Move the meeting. Switch the hour. Shift the environment. Make the toxic path inconvenient. Because poison hates effort. Meanwhile, good habits love smooth roads. So make the good ones easy. Keep your water bottle by the bed. Put your running shoes by the door. Queue up your 15-minute workout playlist. You're not waiting for motivation. You're building conditions that make strength inevitable. Yes, it'll take time. Yes, it'll sting. But remember this: you can't heal while you're still drinking poison every day. Lesson 5. The 3 non-negotiables, the walls that hold you up. Some people live their whole lives never knowing what they truly stand for. They say yes to be loved. They stay silent to stay safe. And in the end, they lose both. Cato, the Roman, whom Marcus Aurelius deeply admired, once said, "If doing what is right leaves you standing alone, then solitude itself becomes your honor." You don't need 100 rules to live by. You just need 3 that never bend. 3 load-bearing walls. 3 steel beams that define the architecture of your character. For example, 1. I do not lie, even when the truth is uncomfortable. 2. I do not let anyone cross my boundaries. 3. I do not skip the discipline that keeps me grounded. Write them down. Say them out loud. Hear your own voice declaring your personal laws. That's your coronation as the architect of your own foundation. Because the day will test you. Your boss will ask for a small lie to make things easier. Your body will whisper, "Skip it just this once." Someone will press against your boundaries to see if they're real. And when that happens, you won't need to decide again. You already decided. The wall doesn't bend. Lesson 6. Release the pressure before it explodes. We often think of restraint as strength. Actually, it is the lid of the pressure cooker. Inside, emotions are boiling. The tighter you seal it, the more dangerous it becomes. Emotions don't disappear when you suppress them. They mutate. Sadness turns into exhaustion. Exhaustion turns into irritability. Irritability turns into numbness. And one day, you explode over something trivial. Not because of that thing, but because of everything you buried before it. Marcus Aurelius, surrounded by the crushing weight of empire, politics, and war, chose to write every morning. Not to publish, to survive. He emptied his fears, his anger, his doubts onto paper. Not out of weakness, but out of wisdom. Because pressure doesn't vanish on its own. It only moves in two directions. Released or detonated. You can start small, 3 minutes of controlled release. Write down what scares you. Confess what's been heavy to carry. Admit that you're tired. You don't need to be positive, you just need to be honest. Strength isn't the absence of emotion. It's the ability to open the valve before the system collapses. So, release pressure, not as a sign of fragility, but as a strategy for survival. Because those who learn to breathe never have to scream. Lesson 7. Prepare for the worst, so you don't collapse when it comes. Everyone fears failure, but the Stoics, they practiced it. They called it premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of evils. Not to be pessimistic, but to stay calm when life turned dark. Every morning, they would ask themselves, if the worst thing happens today, what will I do? Seneca imagined losing all his wealth. Marcus prepared for betrayal. Epictetus pictured having his leg broken. And when it actually happened, he stayed calm, because he had already rehearsed it in his mind. People who don't prepare live like houses with no exits. When the fire starts, they don't die from the flames. They die because they never built a way out. So each morning, think, if my plan fails today, what will I do next? And if you already know that answer, you've taken control back from fate. Remember this, the world doesn't owe you smoothness, but you owe yourself preparation. Lesson 8. Create, don't just react. Lay one lasting brick every morning. Most people spend their whole lives reacting, answering emails, putting out fires, solving problems that shouldn't have existed in the first place. By the end of the day, they're exhausted, but nothing remains. No proof they were here. The Stoics taught, don't just respond to the world, build your own. Every morning, before you open your phone, ask yourself, what's my lasting brick today? A page of writing, a workout, a skill practiced, a small act of kindness, something that will still exist after today ends. Seneca wrote letters 2,000 years later. People still read them. Marcus wrote a journal 2,000 years later. We still learn from it. They didn't do something great that day. They just laid one brick. And you? What are you building that will still stand a year from now? Maybe it's one honest journal entry. Maybe it's a skill you sharpen little by little. Maybe it's a single kind act that leaves a mark on someone's life. Maybe it's an idea you nurture each morning before the noise begins. You don't have to create the whole world. You just have to create something that means something, instead of only reacting to chaos. Because every morning you build, every night you rest easier. A house with walls doesn't fear the wind. Conclusion. The ritual of the unbreakable. The world will keep testing you. People will keep changing. Pressure will not disappear. It never does. But you will be different. Because now you know how to repair. The Stoics never promised eternal peace. They promised resilience. They didn't demand fairness from life. They demanded discipline from themselves. Their secret wasn't perfection. It was process. Every morning they rebuilt. They let go of yesterday's trash, checked their foundation, fixed small cracks, cut out poison, strengthened their walls, released pressure, expected storms, and laid one lasting brick before the day began. Then they repeated it, day after day, storm after storm, until one morning, they woke up unshaken, not because life had become gentle, but because they had become strong. That's the process of the unbreakable, and it begins the same way. Every single sunrise. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to repeat. One morning at a time. One choice at a time. One repair at a time. Soon, you won't have to try to be strong. You'll simply be strong. And when someone asks, "What do you believe in?" you can smile and say, "I believe in the religion of the morning." If this message reached you, let it stay. Hit like not for me, but as a quiet promise to yourself. Subscribe and join a community of people who rebuild instead of break. And leave a comment below with 4 simple words. I fix my mind. I will know, and send you a small gift. A Stoic morning checklist. A daily companion for your own ritual of becoming unbreakable. This is the Stoic habit, where strength is not inherited, it's practiced every morning. Thank you for watching.